My name is Audrey Graziano. I am the co-founder of Happy Orange Project, and today we have three unbelievable guests. We have People Beyond Borders and the Azadi Project, both incredible nonprofit organizations, also amazing mission statements. But today we're talking about your collaboration together. Now, hi everybody. Hi. Welcome to the Zoom desk. Welcome to the Zoom desk. But Prerna, why don't you tell us who you are and who you work for?
So I'm Prerna, the founder of People Beyond Borders, a nonprofit that we just started a couple of months back. We're based in India, but we work globally. And there are about 70.8 million displaced people who have fled conflicts and disasters from different corners of the world. We aim to collaborate with refugees and displaced communities to co-create safe spaces, to share skills, ideas, and engage in co-researching to design projects that are based on their actual grassroots needs. These also include expressive arts, entrepreneurial initiatives, and psychosocial support. Angela is our team member, and she's based in Washington, D.C. We are partners with the Azadi Project, where Vanessa is leading the operations in Greece.
Fantastic. So Vanessa, why don't you tell us what the Azadi Project is?
Absolutely, sure. Thank you so much for having us here today. So the Azadi Project is a small international social enterprise. We're based in Washington, DC, but we work globally, we operate globally. And what we do is we teach refugee women digital skills. We've done this so far in Africa, in Niger, and in Greece. And it's mostly about empowering them to tap into their own potential and to integrate to host communities, obviously, because digital skills are essential to enter the labor market, the labor force today. And once you have these, it facilitates integration.
Oh, that is so great. So, Prerna, why don't you tell us about how you two came together and how you intend to collaborate this project? Or how you have collaborated with this project?
Yeah, I previously worked with Azadi during their field missions in Greece and Niger. So I know how the organization operates and completely endorse them for their credibility, authenticity, trust, and genuine work. Our most recent collaboration is to bring hygiene kits to refugee women and their families at Moria camp in Greece. Although People Beyond Borders does not provide humanitarian aid as part of our direct mission, we felt the need to shift our gears given the magnitude of COVID-19 and how it has intensified some of the challenges at refugee camps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't imagine. Vanessa, do you have something to say on that piece as well? I mean, I think that you said that you had been at a refugee camp and that inspired you. You had returned, and can you speak on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So just this February, we did a digital storytelling workshop in the Moria camp in Lesbos, which is a Greek island, and we worked with refugee women there. So, which means we've been there and we've seen the situation, and we obviously seen their daily struggle. So let me just give you perhaps an overview what the Moria camp is. The Moria camp was built for 3,000 refugees back in 2014, and it hosts right now 20,000 refugees, which means there's only sanitation facilities for 3,000 refugees, which obviously leads to huge lines. It's 1,300 people sharing a tap. It's 200 people sharing a toilet. It's 200 people sharing a shower. On top of that, there's only electricity for a couple of hours a day. We've been there in February. It was freezingly cold, and there wasn't even warm water. So we saw what these women were going through in their daily lives, which is, I mean, unimaginable for us, right? But then COVID-19 hits Europe, and Greece goes under lockdown. So, which means nobody was allowed to leave their house, except for supermarket and pharmacies. Imagine you're in a refugee camp, and first of all, there are these hygiene facilities that are pretty, excuse my French, but disgusting to use. But then you don't even, so you're put on under lockdown in this camp, and you don't have access to a pharmacy, you don't have access to a supermarket, so you don't even have access to cover your basic needs. So as the Moria camp, the way the Moria camp is organized, is there's a distribution of some distribution of basic hygiene supplies for refugee women. So what does it mean? Refugee women get like 3 to 4 sanitary pads a month. I mean, we're all women. We know that 3 to 4 sanitary pads, they're not enough. So what do you do? What do you do in a lockdown with fear, with only three pads a month? Obviously, you have to use other things, right? So we were in touch with the women that we've trained, and they told us that they have to use cloth and some tissues, and obviously this is not hygienic at all. And bad menstrual hygiene causes all kinds of diseases, right? So we as women know this. And obviously the moment, or the stories that they just kept coming, and realized, okay, we had to do something about it. And as Prerna said, as much as People Beyond Borders Azadi doesn't do aid as well. So but in this unprecedented crisis, we had to think about what can we do? How can we use our resources? How can we use our time, our connections, our network, to help these women that are in such bad condition and situation to go through this crisis. So this is what led us think about and sit down and use our network and use all our advisors to brainstorm, and the result of it is the campaign that we've launched a few weeks ago. Yeah.
And you've had great success with it. I was able to watch the YouTube video, which inspired me. And so Prerna, Angela, you both have been, how did you put that together? How did that work exactly?
Yeah, so do you want me to like show what the hygiene?
I would love that. Please do. Please show us what the little packages look like, please.
So our hygiene kit campaign essentially provides soaps, disinfectant, alcohol wipes, and as Vanessa pointed out, sanitary pads for $35 to support one refugee woman and her family. So at Moria camp, as Vanessa explained, social distancing and self-quarantining is not even an option. And 1,300 refugees are sharing just one tap to access water. Every day they're standing in long lines to access food, bathroom, and as I mentioned, water. So Azadi has already delivered hygiene kits to 4,000 refugee women, and they will be sending a second shipment soon. So we have the campaign running for one more week to raise funds and provide hygiene support to more refugees who really need it.
That's wonderful. Angela, why don't you share with us a little bit more what this means for People Beyond Borders?
Well, in terms of People Beyond Borders, we're such a young organization, but I think, we're really excited by the possibility of, or the prospect of talking with you, Audrey, because we want more people in the United States to be aware of the situation in this particular refugee camp, but all over the world. There are refugees and displaced persons that are have already been in a very vulnerable place, but now with COVID-19, they're feeling that intensify. And a lot of people are scared. And so that sort of puts them on the outside even further in these local communities. So in terms of, the United States, like people that as a US citizen and talking to other people from the United States, I mean, we would love for people to contribute financially to support the campaign, to continue to provide these hygiene kits. And that is a way in which you can give back. But I think there are a lot of other ways in which we would hope that people can take action. The first being just to support refugees in your local communities. everyone in the United States has the opportunity to choose where they're going to shop or go to different kinds of restaurants or think about ways of telling the story of their own local refugees. And we want to encourage people to think about ways to elevate those stories and elevate those experiences. Another goal that we have within People Beyond Borders, as Vanessa was talking about in Prerna, we want to provide virtual training, instructions for skill development, like cooking and catering classes. That has been a really successful campaign in the United States, is different people coming together and developing their own catering companies. Photography, creative writing and storytelling, and mentorship for career planning. I think that's a really component part of becoming transitioning into a new place, is that you receive the right kind of career planning and transitional guidance from people who have been living in the local community. And then
the fact that you use the word empowered, I think that's like such an important word. When you have all that, you do have this sense of empowerment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, many of these people are coming from circumstances where they've been, engineers and nurses and doctors, and they've been, working. They've had steady jobs, and all of that has been taken away from them. So I think that's in ways in which we can support them to make those kinds of transitions here in the United States, whether that's, like, as I was saying, shopping at their local restaurants or providing career planning or offering skill development. That's I think just having an attitude of welcoming them is such an important part too. Another way in which they can support refugees is by being civically engaged, choosing to contact their representative when they hear about a bill or a policy decision that is affecting refugees, and making sure that they're giving them, especially for refugees and displaced persons in the United States, they don't have the same kind of access and as citizens do. So use that as a way of empowering them by telling their story.
I love
to representatives.
I absolutely am beyond inspired by all three of you ladies. It's so great to bring this sort of thing to the forefront. I think that we all get wrapped up in our own little lives, right? I mean, I've certainly seen it even I have. I can't believe sometimes that I complain about the things I have. I mean, it's easy to go there, and I'm not putting down anybody, but just to the thought of not even having enough sanitary napkins for the week, not even the day, but it's things that we should really think about. And I just wanted to bring this up one more time. I jotted it down, but I think you said each one of those packages, Prerna,
$35.
$35. Okay.
Our Hygiene Kit campaign contains soaps, disinfectant alcohol wipes, and sanitary pads. So a package of 16 pads that cost $35 to support one refugee woman and her family. We envision a world where we are no longer sharing stories on behalf of refugees, but rather they're sharing their own skills, stories, and ideas to empower each other and the world around them.